Cold, distant sirens, dim streetlights, a shaky phone clip of a crowd splintering into side streets. In a riot, a blackout, or a citywide panic, the average looter decides which house to hit in under 6 minutes. Most don't even touch half the homes they pass. They scan, they sort, they skip, and then they all seem to pick the same targets. Fast. Real headlines, boarded up storefronts, shattered glass, one quiet, untouched house in the middle of chaos. If you think it's random, it isn't. There are patterns painted all over your front yard, your windows, your online life. Patterns that say, hit this one, skip that one. Tonight we're going to walk past your house and see it through a predator's eyes. Here's the part no one tells you. Looters aren't masterminds, but they're not blind and they're not random. Under pressure, the human brain runs shortcuts. It looks for easy wins, fast exits, low risk. One glance at your block, and they already know more than you think. Bright porch light left on, boxes in the trash, expensive car in the driveway, toys scattered, tools left out, curtains wide open. Without meaning to, you advertise, we have stuff, we're careless, we're worth your time. Other homes, without trying, say, boring, empty, complicated, move on. This is not about turning your home into a fortress. It's about understanding why some doors stay untouched while yours is marked before you've even locked it. Let's get into the countdown. You don't think you're bragging. You think you're just living your life. That new 75-inch TV glowing through thin curtains. The gaming rig pulsing blue in the front window. Delivery boxes by the curb shouting brands and model numbers. The shiny grill still open from the weekend. The new mower. The pressure washer. The power tools left out for a minute that turned into overnight. In a stable world, it just means you did well. In a crisis, it is bait. Picture the moment things snap. Sirens, shouts, power flickering. A group breaks off from the main road and jogs your street. They don't have time for detective work. One house is dim, neutral, blinds down, nothing obvious. Next door, your place. Porch light blazing, massive TV visible, cardboard from electronics piled by the bin, an expensive bike chained out front like a trophy. They don't debate morality. They calculate payoff. They slow. They point. They decide. Predators, even the dumb ones, understand return on effort. They can't hit every door, so they cherry pick. Visible wealth equals better loot. Better loot justifies risk. When you advertise that you spend big on what they see, they assume you spend bigger on what they can't. Jewelry, cash, guns, meds, devices. You pre-sell them on the fantasy of what's inside. Your front yard becomes a catalog. Your first move is not buying more gear. It is subtraction. Strip the billboards. Break down boxes so labels vanish. Close blinds at night so your screen isn't a lighthouse. Keep grills, tools, and bikes out of sight when they're not in use. Make the front of your home visually boring. Aggressively unremarkable. Nothing that promises a jackpot. Once you stop screaming value, looters don't stop looking. They shift to the next question. If the payoff is unclear, is this place easy? You think leaving a light on means safety. One lamp in the front window, same bulb, same corner, every night at the same time. To you, it says, we're home, don't try it. To anyone hunting for a target, it says something else. Pattern. And pattern is how they plan. A house that goes dead dark every night reads like nobody home, nobody watching. Easy. That porch light you leave on non-stop, no movement, no shadows behind it, not security, cosmetic. Static light is a billboard that no one's paying attention. Now picture the first night things get strange. Sirens, feeds blowing up, people testing doors. A small group pauses and watches. They see your upstairs light click off at the exact same time. Night after night. No exceptions. You've told them when you lie down, when awareness drops. In chaos, they only have to be right once. High-risk nights favor fast reads. Always dark, probably empty. Perfectly staged, fake. Houses that breathe a little, sometimes kitchen, sometimes hallway, one silhouette, a porch light that isn't religious, feel uncertain. And uncertainty feels dangerous. Your job is to jam their shortcut, break your patterns, rotate which rooms are lit. Use varied light instead of one permanent beacon. Close curtains so your routine isn't a show. Don't announce we're gone or we're asleep on a schedule. Make your home read as occupied, but unpredictable. Just uncertain enough that a crew in a hurry decides, not worth it. Next house. You think your friends are watching. You think it's just your circle, your people, your harmless highlight reel, vacation clips, airport check-ins, date night, no kids tonight, new phone, new watch, new rifle, all framed perfectly for likes. You forget that everyone else is watching too. Screenshots, shares, strangers. In a crisis, information moves faster than fear, and looters love shortcuts. You hand them one every time you post where you are, who's home, what you own. Picture this. You go live from the stadium. Tag your city. Swing the camera across your quiet street as you pull out, laughing, finally out of the house. Your living room in the background, the door you just locked. A friend shares it. Someone's cousin sees it. Hours later, unrest kicks off downtown. Roadblocks, sirens. That cousin is running with people who suddenly need gear and a quick score. They don't know you. They don't need to. They have a mental pin, big TV, nice neighborhood, obviously gone. They don't need your exact address. They need fragments. The street sign in one vlog, the mailbox with your name in another, the park you always tag, the view from your porch. In normal times, it's oversharing. In abnormal times, it's targeting data. The flex posts are worse. Your safe, your cache, your collection, your arsenal. You turned your feed into a catalog and circled the best pages. So stop pretending it's harmless. Delay everything. Post the trip when you're back. No real-time check-ins that scream empty house. No live tours of your layout, your locks, your cameras. Strip geotags. Stop flexing gear for strangers. You're not just dodging envy. You're erasing yourself from someone's list. Because while your life glows on screens, they're also reading something older than Wi-Fi. The sound bleeding off your property. In stable times, your noise is just your business. Music up. Dog barking. Voices on the porch. Another late-night argument bleeding into the street. Annoying, but forgettable. In unstable times, that same noise is a tell. It advertises impulse, disorder, lack of discipline. Looters don't just want stuff. They want control. They want scenes they believe they can dominate. Picture two houses side by side when sirens don't stop. One is calm, low light, curtains drawn, occasional movement, no shouting. The other is chaos, bass rattling windows, people on the porch yelling about what they've got, dog chained out front losing its mind at everyone. One voice bragging, "They come here, they'll see." Which one feels like weak chaos? Emotional, uncoordinated, more bark than bite. Predators read demeanor. A calm, ordered environment suggests someone is paying attention, thinking, choosing. A wild, sloppy soundscape suggests no plan. In that kind of house, nobody is in charge. In that confusion, people freeze, argue, fumble. That is opportunity. So adjust. Project calm, not circus. On tense nights, keep your volume down. Kill porch drama. Don't let your dog teach the block your rhythms and limits. Make your home a question mark. Not loud enough to look reckless. Not theatrical enough to invite a test. Quiet. Measured. Hard to read. You think you're warning people off. You line your yard with plastic protected by signs from the same place you buy party balloons. You stick a fake camera above the garage, blue LED blinking into nowhere at a crooked angle. You hang a giant "Beware of Dog" sign even though the only thing back there is a rusted grill. From a distance, it looks tough. To anyone who's done this before, it's a confession. I'm scared, but cheap. I rely on props. I don't follow through. Now picture the crew walking your street when things go sideways. They're scanning for tells. That fake camera never moves. No real wiring. The chain on your side gate is hollow plastic, one twist from snapping. Your front door is thin, builder grade, big bold sticker like a costume. One hard kick is all it takes to see if you're real or just rehearsing. If your defense is theater, you just volunteered to be tested. Real deterrence is friction. Solid doors that don't buckle. Reinforced strikes that bite deep. Actual cameras placed where they make sense. Motion lights that cover approach lines, not just the sidewalk. Neighbors who notice. Security theater is for you. Looters aren't grading effort. They're weighing risk. If it looks like you bought the illusion, they assume you skipped what matters. Performative safety usually means performative habits. Loud, hollow, lucrative. Strip back the costume. Take down what screams overcompensation. Put money into one or two quiet, real layers. Stronger locks, subtle cameras, film on glass, lighting that exposes them, not you. No bravado, no billboards, just small choices that make your house quietly annoying to breach. Serious predators drift to softer homes. The amateurs follow. Looters don't see single houses first. They see zones. From the top of the street, it's obvious which blocks have a pulse and which are dead. A dead neighborhood is a buffet. No eyes, no questions, no memory. Broken fences, overgrown yards, random cars, no one on porches, no one looking up. If your block looks surrendered, every precaution you've taken shrinks inside that vacuum. Picture a fork in their path. 2 streets. On the first, a man steps out when he hears noise. He doesn't start a fight. He just looks. A curtain shifts. A porch light clicks on. Quiet message. We see you. On the second, nothing. No silhouettes, no changing lights. Just trash, silence, apathy. When they want low-consequence hits, they choose apathy. Predators feel collective risk. If you're squared away but surrounded by neglect, you're isolated. Your shout dies. Your cameras catch emptiness. Your discipline vanishes into a lazy backdrop. If you posture while neighbors don't care, you don't look strong. You look like the only target worth it. The fix starts small. 1 or 2 neighbors. Trade numbers. Mention strange cars. Grab a package once. Let them grab yours. Micro-cohesion. A thin net that notices. In crisis, you want your street to feel like a nervous system, not scattered nerves. When looters sense eyes, they zoom from zone to details. Driveways, cars, routines. Your car is your mouth when you're not there to run it. Parked in your driveway, it talks for you. Every sticker, decal, and logo is a data point. You think you're expressing yourself. You're actually handing out a briefing. What you believe, what you can afford, what you're into, where your kids go to school, whether you might be armed, how often you're gone. Looters read that language faster than you think. Picture them moving past your place on a tense night. One truck is plastered with tactical brands, Punisher skulls, proud gun owner, unit patches, political threats, tools in the bed, ammo cans. That truck promises weapons, ego, drama. Maybe tempting, guns to steal, a chest beater who might fold. Or maybe too much noise, so they mark him for later. Across the street, a smooth luxury SUV with kids' sports decals, private school, yoga studio, tech logo. No threats, just obvious money and patterns. That house whispers high yield, jewelry, tablets, consoles, compliance. Easy to read, easy to time. Predators split targets, high drama or high yield. Your decorations decide which list you land on. Either way, you narrowed their guesswork. They don't have to wonder if you're armed, emotional, wealthy, or gone. You told them. So go gray. Strip badges that broadcast weapons, units, politics, kids' schools, expensive hobbies. Park inside when you can. Don't leave high-end tools and toys in view. The goal isn't to look dangerous. It's to look uninteresting. Like there's nothing special to win or prove. You talk too much. Not online this time. In person. Over fences, at barbecues, in the break room, on the job. I've got enough ammo for a war. If the grid goes down, I'm fine for a year. Generator, guns, gold, we're set. Come to my place if stuff goes bad. You think you're bonding. You think it sounds strong and prepared. You're actually leaking. Information never stays where you drop it. It walks, it repeats. In calm times, it's gossip. In crisis, it's targeting. You brag to a neighbor about fuel, medkits, a safe in the garage. He tells a coworker. Weeks later, that coworker's cousin is in a looting crew. He doesn't know you. He remembers the guy on Oak Street with the generator and the safe. That's enough. Human networks are porous. You don't know who's 2 steps away from desperate or dangerous. People forget talk. They remember resources and certainty. If the system fails, I'm the one you want to know. Stops being a flex and starts being a map. Every time you invite people to rely on your stash, if things go bad, you paint a bullseye on your door. In fear, they'll believe you meant it. They'll come as takers, as a crowd that won't take no. So shut it down. Understate. If asked, you're managing same as everyone. No inventory, no tours, no chest thumping. Build a persona of mild normalcy, because as pressure climbs, looters stop reading your stuff. They read your emotions. In unstable times, your emotional broadcast is as bright as any spotlight. You think it's private, that your fear and anger live inside your house, inside your screen. They don't. Looters and opportunists scan for 3 weaknesses: panic, rage, and despair. Panic says you're unsteady. Rage says you're impulsive and easy to provoke. Despair says you've already surrendered. Picture 2 houses on the same collapsing night. At the first, someone paces on the porch, yelling into a phone about how no one's coming, how they're done. Doors slam. Lights flicker. It looks like a live breakdown. At the second, a figure steps out once, checks the street. No theatrics, no meltdown. Lights steady. That house becomes an unknown. A problem. Predators love people who telegraph their breaking point. Panicked people freeze or hand things over. Loudly angry people are predictable, easy to bait. Desperate people chase any promise. Calm, contained people force a calculation. No obvious script, no easy button. So discipline your surface. Fear is human, but don't perform it. No monologues in the yard about being abandoned. No driveway screaming matches that advertise shortages or secrets. No raging online about how loaded you are with your ego attached. That's not deterrence. That's bait. Emotional control is camouflage. Aim for steady, boring, contained. Hard to read, hard to game. Because the final filter isn't just your stuff, your talk, or your mood. It's whether you insist on being seen at all. Here's the turning point. Predators don't stalk ghosts. They stalk signals. Pride is a signal. Drama is a signal. Wealth is a signal. Loud threats are a signal. Being targeted is not always about looking weak. Very often it's about refusing to blend in, refusing to stop performing. Visibility is its own vulnerability. You've been told to stand your ground, show strength, send a message, fly the flag, prove you're not a victim. That works when there are rules and sirens that still mean something. In riots, blackouts, slow collapse, that script backfires. Over-signaled strength becomes a dare. Over-signaled wealth an invitation. The houses that vanish in plain sight share one trait. They do not perform. No giant banners. No "we don't call 911" signs. No staged photos of pantry, arsenal, generator. No window display of comfort when others are scared. From street and screen, they look modest. Ordinary cars. Curtains drawn but not boarded. Lights that make sense. Activity without theater. Background. That's not cowardice. That's strategy. Be the gray house. Modest outside. Bland online. No public schedule. Real security and quiet reactions. You're not trying to win the street. You're trying not to be nominated. Looters skip what feels confused, risky, or empty. They hit what looks obvious. Loud wealth, loud anger, loud ego. The difference between skipped and selected is rarely the rifle in the window. It's almost always psychology. So where does that leave you? In your own doorway, deciding if you must be seen or if you'd rather survive by never making their list at all? You're back on that same street, but now your eyes are trained. You see the mistakes glowing, the loud houses, the flex, the patterns, the theater. You see the quiet ones too, the ones that barely register. Survival isn't about being the strongest house. It's about being the house that never becomes a story. Predators are lazy. Chaos makes them more so. They follow light, noise, ego, promise. Take that away and you sink into the background. Every choice you make, what you show, what you post, how you talk, how you react, pushes you toward one of two outcomes: skipped or selected. Don't argue with the mob, don't posture, don't feed. They're filters. Step out of frame. In the next blackout, the next protest, the next desperate night, be the house they overlook. Let them walk past your door.